Hi guys, things been a little hectic around the farm this week. Had a lot of irrigation going on. Started irrigating the beans this week and still continuing on irrigating in the corn. We haven't had rain here for a while, so and corn's still kind of near its peak water use, and beans are really coming into their peak water use. The first week of August for beans, they start filling out those pods and stuff and start basically filling out pods and whatnot, so they really use their water this time of year. But no, this video is just basically a bunch of random videos throughout the week and whatnot, so if it seems chopped up, that's why. But it should be the gist of what's kind of going on this time of year and stuff like that, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Hey guys, we're out here on kind of a cloudy morning, a little bit of mist in the air. Yeah, it's actually Thursday, August 1st. My wife and I have been married 10 years on this day, and I really probably the best decision I made as a human being on this earth, with the help of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't really think it was totally my decision. He led me to her. Crazy story is she actually met her in college. Yeah, she's just a special lady. That's what I want to say about that, and I really appreciate her and all the things she's done for me, and she's done with our boy Garrett. And for those of you guys who know how lucky we are to have beautiful, amazing wives, just give a thumbs up to them. So just remember, it's my goal, just basically to be a good husband and father, and just to honor Christ through that. And so that's my shout out there. But nope, today I wanted to show you guys, we're basically watering gravity fields here through pipe. And so what we do here is I usually just run every other row. You can run every row, it doesn't matter, but you'd want to have 20-inch gates. If you go back to my other video, you could see how I irrigated pipe and stuff and did all that. But no, basically what I usually do, if it's a tough field or whatever, I'll go to the other far end and I'll take a piece of paper or something and write down the rows. And you basically will count the rows and make sure they all get through. And so, but these have all been going through really well, and so I'm not going to do that, especially with the dew and stuff on this morning. I'm fairly confident these rows actually get even shorter that way. And so, no, that's part of the inefficiency too of pipe, though, is water will run out the other end and it usually goes down into a creek or something. That's why we usually have it, try to get it timed about right, that, you know, it takes 12 hours or whatever sets you're going on. Like me, I usually go every 12 hours, I'll change the gates and go from there. You can do 24, or some guys will even do 8-hour sets, do it 3 times a day. But I usually try to set them on 12 hours. Maybe later in the year I'll do 24-hour sets, just let it soak better, especially since it's made its track already. It'll tend to flow even through there a little better. But yeah, I'm gonna go right now. Actually, I'm gonna come along here I'm gonna open this flip valve here. It's not very pretty, it's a plastic one, but it works for this spot. I'll open this valve, shut these gates off, open these gates over here. And what this allows me to do is once I get this side set, the only time I'll have to mess with these gates is I won't have to mess with them again, I guess. I'll just open and shut this valve. And what this also helps us do is hold water back and not leak it out down this pipe. And it helps us be a little more efficient with these sets down here. So I'm gonna do that and go from there. Actually, you know what? I better make sure that that has a stake and an end plug put in it first. I'm gonna go do that. Okay, good. It's got the end plug in. That should hold fine. I left the stake there just in case it don't, but that might really good enough. So you notice the pressure backed off over there. Now we're starting to get a little bit. It'll really kick in once it hits that end plug down there, and it'll build up pressure in this pipe. And so you can kind of see we got a little trickle going here. Actually need to be on this row right here. So yeah, I'm setting this pipe for the first time, and so there's going to be open, cracked ones not making sense, so I got to go along, shut them off, open the ones I do want open. So that's what I'm doing now. Alright, so I'm going to go check the well, make sure the drippers are working alright, and go from here. Cooled off a little bit last night, so I'd speed this up just a hair. Alright, let's go. That tire I fixed the other day, you know, it's still stuck. And what I'm going to try to do, I tried pulling it out the other day with my tow rope, or I should say my winch on my four-wheeler. It's just sitting there spinning in them silt, and I dug a little bit out, but one thing we could try to use is we do have what we call a mud lug. It's something that kind of just clamps on to the pivot tire. It's not ideal sometimes, especially on tall tires. You got to watch, make sure you're not torquing the U-joints and stuff, whatnot, but we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna line stuff back up again, get it ready to go. Once I get that done, then I'll start it back in reverse is the direction we're going. And so when I do that, that way it gives me time to go out there, put on the mud lug, and hopefully get it to spin and get it to bite before it gets back out of line again. So that's what I'm going to do now. So yeah, while we're waiting here, I guess it's been kind of cloudy. Yesterday the sun did shine finally in the afternoon, but this isn't what we need. We need sunshine and heat. We're still behind on course. Corn looks good. It's just we're just behind. We had a lot of washing spots and stuff too, so it'll be interesting to see. Something that could really cause this corn to hurt and hurt yield is an early freeze, since we're behind. So that's something that we're kind of looking out for too now. So yeah, no, I'm just waiting for this thing to catch back up to be out of safety. So as you can see, it didn't click out, and so it should be good for now. I'm gonna run it forward a little bit and then kick in reverse and go put the mud lug on. I know a lot of you probably are thinking I have a lot of weeds around my pivot point, so I'm finally gonna I put the sprayer back on just so I can think about it at least to start spraying around my wells. I usually do a better job, it's just everything's been pushed later. And then we usually have a week of your first irrigation week or two that are just pains in the rear because you're working out all the kinks and finding all your low spots where it silts in and pivots get stuck and whatnot. And this past week has been that week. It's just been basically the pain in the weak butt of irrigation. Once you get things around at least a couple times, usually your tracks are kind of set and you don't have as much trouble. It's just usually that first week or two that, you know, you kind of find out everything that you missed or everything that you didn't miss too. So basically you want this to grab. This will come up and lock it into place. That basically wedges it in there, so it should create a bite, hopefully. Alright, I'm gonna go kick it on now and see how it works. So it already got sucked underneath before I got back there. So it made it 1 revolution. The fun part is taking the muddy lug off, but it beats digging a bunch of times too. You can see in that sill that just likes to sit there and spin. It just, yeah. And so it'll just catch enough dry dirt underneath, but hopefully it makes it back around in time before the other towers get out of line, so that's kind of what I'm hoping right now. It's kind of worse than I thought. I might go slow the pivot down so it don't kick itself out. So we wait. This is tower number 3. So, meaning it's one of the slower ones to move. That's why it takes a while for it to go. Even if you have it on 100%, it's still got to wait for all the outside ones to keep moving. I think I'm getting out of the woods now. I think I'll start working on taking off the mud lug. Guess we'll take it back, set the water to it, and just hopefully it makes it. Oh man! This is worse than a train. I'll wait. I just had a couple ramps right there. Could jump it. So the beans are really starting to pick up here. They're looking, they're starting to get taller, bigger. As you can see here, they're really starting to bush out. Walk down a road that doesn't have water running through it. So as you can see me, we're about waist high. Let me go from this angle. We're about waist high on our beans out here right now, I guess. You don't want beans to get super tall, maybe above your chest, because then they'll start to get lazy and they'll kind of start to lodge and fall over. So there's kind of a happy medium between height. If we come down here and see how they're doing, so you can see the water running through here. But these pods are gonna start filling out here pretty soon. And so that's what we want to put the water to for, is they're gonna start filling out the beans. As you can see, they're pretty flat right now. But there is little, well, there's gonna be 3 beans. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but there's gonna be 3 beans in this pod here. And so what that's gonna do is fill those out basically. And yeah. So I got another gravity field. This is the field we just actually laid out pipe on today. So so this is kind of a small field over here that's got a steep slope to it. The main field is kind of over that hill over here, but these are north and south rows, and over there they're east and west. So we got done laying out the pipe around noon, so I'm just doing a short set on these. And then I'm going to head over here and start on these east-west rows. When they got such a big slope, I just kind of crack them, especially if they're short rows. Try to let them soak a little bit. And so right here we got a T where the stuff will go up and over the hill that way, or we can shift it that way. And you can pretty much have these guys custom made to whatever you like. These are from Ace Irrigation in Kearney. So what I'm going to do is open this valve up here so we can go that way, and then I'm going to close this guy down. So yeah, water's gonna start going that way, and we'll go start opening gates here. I'll start, I basically go run, blank, 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 run. And I'll get started on that row and go every other row. Basically crack them open. You kind of want them to be uniform, or to whatever the row length is too. Man, these guys are getting pretty leaky. This is always the fun part, doing this without getting soaked while water's running. Usually when you do it while water's running, you have to do it backwards. Oop. Premature walking. I swear it's never happened before. Alright, she snapped. She's golden. That's actually one that's got to go through. So we'll let her ride. Alright. Whew, sorry guys, got you wet. There you go. I'm gonna keep setting this set and go from there. So I'm standing here by a pivot right now, and I could not figure out why this end gun wasn't shutting off. And I'm not a very smart person. Woo! But I knew it had something to do with that. There's a red deal right there, right before that end sprinkler, called the aqua valve. I believe that's what they're called. But anyway, I was looking at it, and luckily I have a high place here where that end thing comes along, the overhang comes along, and I got to look, and there's a little black, probably 1/4 inch poly tube that runs along over there to that black box on that last tower right there. Well, there's a Skinner, I think it's called the Skinner valve. Sorry, pivot guys, I'm probably chopping this valve up, but I thought it might be that Skinner valve there, or it could have been crap buildup in that aqua valve. But I got to looking, and there's just a little pinhole a little slice on that black tube along, and I think what that does is allow suction to shut that off and on somehow. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it kind of opens up or closes that valve anyway, by way of some kind of vacuum. But nope, that's all it was. So I spliced it and cut it back, put it back together, and yeah, pat myself on the shoulder, or else I would have been calling a pivot guy. And that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you liked it. If you do, please hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Can you give them thumbs up? See you later.